Welcome to Kingdom Missions Fund Live. You are about to hear inspirational stories from innovative missions that are pioneering new ways to share the good news of Jesus across the earth. Thanks in part to grants from the Kingdom Missions Fund. Today, you'll meet passionate people from all over the world that are creating smart, sustainable, and scalable strategies to advance the kingdom of God. Get ready to be inspired as we join volunteers from the Kingdom Missions Fund.
Good evening and welcome to Kingdom Missions Fund Live. Daryl, Amy here with Paul Barber. How's it going, Paul?
Daryl, it's going great. How are you? Boy, this is exciting tonight with, seeing you. Hatley Hambrice is here from Growing Entrepreneurs International from Thailand. I know you're an entrepreneur. This will be fun to hear about what all he's doing to train entrepreneurs that are really spreading out all over Thailand. It's really going to be an exciting evening.
It is such a great time, and just thank you to everybody who's joining us live on Facebook, on YouTube, watching in later. We're glad you're here. We welcome you if you're here live to chime in with comments. Love to hear from you if you have questions and even shouts out for our guests today. It's going to be a good time. And Paul, here we are. It's the middle of November as we're broadcasting this. We're coming into Thanksgiving next week, and one of the things I love about the Kingdom Missions Fund that we've celebrated just over and over throughout the years is many Thanksgivings. There is so much thankfulness that happens around the Kingdom Missions Fund.
It really is, Daryl. There's a passage in 2 Corinthians 9 that talks about this, but we even feel like, when people give to the Kingdom Mission Fund, we hope that they're thankful they can do that. We're thankful that they can give to us. We're able to pass that on. Our mission partners are thankful that we can pass that on. And then the end users are thankful to the mission partners.
That's right.
They can be the recipient of this. So there's at least 4 levels of Thanksgiving that happens just when you who are our faithful donors out there listening. We really appreciate that. And we're thankful for you over Thanksgiving, but you create this Thanksgiving ripple that just really goes around the world. And it's just exciting to hear what a small donation can do to really transform, people's lives and take the gospel to the ends of the earth.
Wow, that is so true. And what's beautiful about the Kingdom Missions Fund is with our strategy of looking for things that are smart, sustainable, and scalable, we've been able to scale this by grouping together our donations. Paul, you were the first. Some of us came along right after you. And now over the last couple decades, by grouping together and being very intentional about all this, we've been able to make a tremendous impact. And one of those stories, and by the way, if you'd like to be a part of it, and you're just finding out about the Kingdom Missions Fund, we invite you to join us. It is so much fun. Every year, we get to meet new missions partners who are doing incredible things all over the earth. So if you'd like to be a part of that and like to see your giving impacted exponentially, go to kingdomfund.com/donate. And you can also learn about all of the incredible stories of different projects we've been able to fund. But one of the coolest projects we've been able to fund has been in Thailand. So without further ado, I think it'd be great, Paul. Why don't you introduce Hatley and let's dive into this conversation.
Hey, good evening, Hatley. How are you? Good. Hatley Hambrice is here from Thailand with Growing Entrepreneurs International. We've been able to support Hamley and Christy on some things that they've been doing over there. And Hatley, I'm just going to let you go here, kind of share with some of our viewers that maybe aren't familiar with you, kind of how you guys got started. What was the vision? What was the dream? What's kind of happened? We only got about 30 minutes here. So yeah. What kind of happened? And bring us up to date on what's going on with GEI.
Yeah, well, you've kind of connected with us in a really unique and a great season, as my wife and I are actually in the States currently in sabbatical. And the only reason we can do that is because of all the things that God is doing through our work currently. But I also just want to say, when we started partnering with Kingdom Missions Fund, it's been encouraging for us to see the heart of the Kingdom Missions Fund, which is really this innovations through training and education, which is literally what we're doing in Thailand and what we've seen really create fruitfulness in the people that we're investing in Thailand. So it's been fun partnership as we've done projects together and as the work has matured over the last 11 years. And so what's really great right now is that, when we started GEI back in 2010, we came specifically to do internships for college students and young professionals coming from the US and Canada and other places to learn about how God is using business to impact the unreached and impact emerging economies like Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and so forth. And so while we've been doing that, then we also saw other needs. One, which we've talked about before, specifically with the business that my wife started with the Bliss Cleaning Care Company. But that business itself was originated, and we understood the market and the need because we first started skill training. We started investing in women and needs that they had, and then the business came later. And really, the foundation, the reason the business is doing so well today is because we have such strong relationships and understanding of the business, and specifically the cleaning company market, the cleaning needs of foreign customers, Thai customers, both residential and commercial. And what we would define really as entrepreneurship today is not just starting new business or having a great idea that's going to impact the market, but literally unleashing human flourishing in the world. And so what I mean by that when I say it is that most of the world doesn't have the opportunity to use the gifts and skills and abilities he's given them to do something, and specifically for his glory. Most people in the world are doing what their parents did, their grandparents did, and their great-grandparents did. And basically they're living up to the ideas and expectations of their family, their society. We think about India. We lived in India for a while, the class system there. People only do what is modeled around them, and most of them never get to break out of that. And so entrepreneurship has that opportunity not only to create a great market, but also to release people to do the things and obviously bring God glory through them using their skills and abilities to do that.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah. So it's been amazing to see those things in real lives, right? So after 8 years of training, we've had 550 women come through and graduated through our cleaning classes. We've created over 480 new jobs in just one city over that 8 years, which translates into every 10 women that we train, 8 women come out of that with a new job.
Oh, wow.
And so for training anywhere in the world, that, those numbers don't even make sense to me because it's so powerful, right? It's like unbelievable that many women have been able to get new jobs year after year. And we've never really advertised for the training itself. And so we still have women and men now actually that are waiting to get trained even 8 years later. So because of COVID, we've had to delay certain things as the rest of the world has. But we've continually had people waiting for training month after month, year after year, because the need is there. It's not something that we've created or forced on the culture or forced on the market. It was a real need, a real problem that we've been able to bring some solutions that we believe will stay for generations.
Yeah. Hatley, I know as Christy in the cleaning company, that's been kind of your cash cow, or the one you really developed it. What? Just share with our people some of the other entrepreneurial efforts that you put forth with maybe some of the men in Thailand.
Right. So we've had internships. 19 interns have come through. We've had interns in China. We've had interns in Vietnam. We've had interns in Cambodia. And then the training itself originally that Kingdom Missions Fund helped us with has actually translated into the cleaning training as well. Originally, we were doing separate training for men to get jobs elsewhere. But what's happened literally is that training then kind of got infused and integrated into our Bliss May Bond training, because that's where the real market was. And so we started training them like to do power washing and to do upholstery cleaning and those kind of things. And now we've added those as revenue streams into the business. So now we've had some Bliss Mabon training, just 4 or 5 men in a class. And now we have 2 full-time staff with the Bliss Cleaning Care Company. Then in addition to that, you guys helped us with the GEI startup seminars, which that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you helped us get it translated into Thai as well. And since then, we've not only started our 2 for-profit companies in Chiang Mai, but we've helped 30 others create businesses or grow their businesses. Some of those were already started. Some of those are for-profit, some were nonprofit. Some of those were Thai, some of those were foreigners, but all of those were in Chiang Mai specifically.
Yeah.
So that's become a big opportunity. One new one is that we've had a few women that have been working in the red light district in Chiang Mai who've come through our training, some which have gotten jobs. But also we're considering partnering with another organization that specifically works with men and women who've been trafficked. And one of the things that they're missing is specifically training to start a new business. So they don't actually have that element in their foundation. So we're talking just in the beginnings. I don't have a lot of information on that, but that's even a possibility that they're getting loans from the government to create new business for these people because this organization specifically partners with them. And so there may be an option for us in the near future to come alongside them with people who are coming out of traffic situation.
That's amazing. I'm curious, Hambley, what when you think about, I love the intersection of entrepreneurship and mission here, and you've been at this for some time now in several different parts of the world. I'm curious for the business folks listening in, as well as for the missions minded folks listening in. What are you learning about business and missions and how that works together? What works well and what doesn't?
Yeah, a great question. And it has been the questions on my mind and heart since before we were there. One is can it work together, right? Just can it work? Because we're integrating so many different things. And so it's not just the finances that you're integrating. It's not just the ministry that you're integrating. It's all of the relationships, whether it's employees, customers, the community. And so it takes time to really understand how uniquely and strategically they're going to work in your particular business. In fact, I had some people ask me just this past weekend, it's like, how do you pick a business that works with this mindset? It's like, well, for one thing, it needs to be a business where you're around people a lot, right? So the whole, if you're developing product one place and shipping it somewhere else and your customers are somewhere else, it's more difficult. It's not that it can't happen, but we really encourage local customers and local employees, because that's where all the ministry happens. If everything you're doing is online, it's difficult, right? It's the face-to-face relationship building, learning the language, learning the culture. And so for our business, we have 4 bottom lines. It's people, profit, planet, and prayer. Okay. And so we measure all of those. So one of my questions, Daryl, was, hey, how do we measure all of that?
Right.
Yeah. Finances are easy, right? But when we talk about the planet, how are we measuring our environmental? Not only are we not hurting it, how are we helping it? So one of the things that we just started in the last few months is we're now creating our own all natural clean products that we're using for our own deep cleaning. So we're going to start selling to our customers. So this last 3 months, we've had our highest profitability. We just started this all natural cleaning. But then we're also, what are we doing with people? Well, we're constantly training our people. So we're training them, yes, to be cleaners, but we're also doing things like the Toyota 5S organizational effectiveness, efficiency of how to take care of all our equipment, how to take care of our supplies, and not just clean up the place one time and then next month it'd be back in the same shape, but how do we keep it this way? How do we improve it? How do we measure it and hold people accountable so that we're not spending 5 hours looking for a part for the vacuum when it should be right there, right? So all these things we're doing to help make sure that our people are equipped to do the work. And then lastly, in prayer is the spiritual impact. And so that one is very difficult for people, and there's not a lot of great models, but we take a model where we're not just measuring people coming to faith, we're measuring people's spiritual hunger. So over the last 8-10 years, again, we've have this 550, 600 plus people that we've been investing in and been in relationship with. We currently have about 100 people who are just asking questions. And they may just be very basics, like what's the true meaning of Christmas? What's the Bible about? Who's Jesus? Then we have another 60 that are saying, hey, man, I want to ask questions about a struggle that I'm having, and how do you address that in your life? And what's the Bible have to say about that? So we have about 60 that are coming to cell groups, Bible studies about once every other week. And then we have 50 that have actually made decisions of faith through that group. And then we have 3 that are actually sharing their faith and doing discipleship with others. And so that's what it really looks like when you're measuring a business that's integrating business and mission.
I really like that model, the 4 Ps. And this is, and I think this is a conversation that is really, really good to have in every aspect of the missions world, is what are those 4 bottom lines? Because the financial health is one of those bottom lines, whether you're for profit or not for profit. But the other 3 are huge. I love it. Right now, in the middle, I'm curious, as you look forward, obviously that we've been through, and we're in the middle of a very tumultuous and challenging time. Where do you see, I'm curious, the opportunities you look forward into next year and beyond?
Yeah. So as I shared a little bit at the beginning, my wife and I are in kind of a new season of trying to make decisions, because one of the things we didn't expect to happen was the transition of all of our responsibilities for our for-profit, which has 32 staff, Bliss Cleaning Care Company, and the GI Thailand Foundation, which has 2 full-time Thai staff. Both of those are completely Thai run today. And we did not envision that 10 years ago at all. And really, COVID kind of forced us to think that way. Mm-hmm. But I think also God just used that to help us to see that, hey, we were not thinking big enough. We were not believing enough that these women and people could do that. So one of the ways to look at that is that, we've been hiring all of these women to clean houses, right? That's where all the skill training is. But today, what we've been able to provide opportunity is women to clean houses, administrators to help with the business, managers to lead the departments within our business, and now even supervisors. And so we're actually advertising for the first time on LinkedIn for new staff to come in, because we've got so much growth happening in the business. So we never dreamed that we would be providing that kind of opportunity to women and men in Chiang Mai.
Wow. Yeah, Hatley, shifting gears a little bit on you here. When we kind of talked earlier, we understand a lot of new technology is just kind of reaching, you're part of the world there. But how are you utilizing some recent technology, both in your ministry, but also maybe how you're maintaining relationships with your donors or people that are interested just in following GEI?
Yeah. There's lots of things coming up all the time. One of the things that we did early on is we stopped doing written newsletters and started using YouTube to update our donors on a monthly basis. And most of our people, they love us. They want to stay engaged, but it's tough. But a video is just quick and easy. They can click on it. It's 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just raw what's happening with us. And so that's really, really helped. Secondly, we use the Campus Crusade MPDX. It's at mpdx.org. And so that's an updated version of their donor software. Originally, everything was free. Now this is available both on your computer and on your phone. And we're able to keep up with our donors, both from a giving perspective and contact perspective through MPDX. I don't know if you've had other people that have used that, but that's been really helpful to us. Another resource that we haven't used yet, but I think is going to be used more and more is the Bible Project. you guys used any of their resources. I think it's out in like 40 something languages.
Amazing.
And, it is in Thai. We've not used it yet, but I think is a great resource for ministry. We've used the Bible app for several years for different things. And then in our business, we use what's called HubSpot, HUBSPOT, and it's a free customer relationship management system that we've used in our business. And we've probably tested 4 or 5 different types of CRM systems, and this has by far been the best. Fantastic. And that's really the system now that we're able to track all 4 of these bottom lines that we were talking about before. So, I mean, it takes some time to learn how to use all the tools, and from everything from putting in our customer data and putting in all of our deals data. But that's how we're able to set customer goals and sales goals throughout the year.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted you to share that with our people, Hatley, because of course, like I say, I'm just trying to learn how to use a calculator. But there's all these things that are out there now that are becoming available to our mission partners. And one thing, Hatley, and you and other mission partners that may be listening, as you come across some of these helpful tools, HubSpot or whatever it is, kind of let us know. We can start playing with that, and maybe make that make other missions aware of some of these things that can really help you with your ministries. I mean, it's it's tough enough, but if you get some good tools to help you, it can really be good. It really be good. Well, Hatley, I know you're back here on sabbatical. You've done a tremendous job getting this business up in Thai hands and everything. So I know it's a transitional time, but as you look out with your vision, and everything, is there some things that you and Christy, maybe it's not all clear in your mind right now, but is there some things you're kind of looking at now, or do you think maybe God is be calling you to do over the next few years?
Yeah, I think we're definitely not finished in Thailand, but our roles are definitely changing. And so that's really what this next few months we're really trying to discern what roles we need to continue to play as we're continuing to cast vision and be kind of the visionary leaders of both the foundation and the business itself. But I think there's definitely opportunity for us to grow or franchise the business into some new cities, some new countries. I think there's even a possibility of us bringing it to the U.S.
Yeah.
And so, we're just kind of praying through that, kind of talking to different people. Really the mindsets of college students continues to change. And so for the internship focus, we're going to have to really refine that probably to one campus, maybe one campus ministry, and probably spend more time on stateside to help prepare them for the opportunities that are coming available in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Amazing. What an incredible story. As we get ready to wrap up, and I'm just so inspired by what you're doing and the way this is all coming together. What words of encouragement would you give to other mission partners that are listening in right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now in the midst of the ongoing pandemic that seems like is never going to end is grit. Man, we cannot give up. We've got to continue to be creative. We obviously have to continue to look to God, the Holy Spirit, to drive what we're doing, and not assume that what we did last month's going to work. We've got to be adaptable to what's ahead. And, somebody shared with us, not too long ago when we've been discouraged through the pandemic, he's like, God was at work before you started, and he's going to be at work after you finish. So don't get all upset and frustrated because you've done this and that and it's no longer working or whatever. God's at work, and he's the reason we do what we do. It's not about the activities, the business, the organizations, tear it all down if we need to in order for us to be obedient and faithful to what he's called us to do. And that's easy to say, it's hard to do. So as we encourage other people in the midst of that, it's like, hey, we've got to have open hands and open eyes to what God's doing now and in the near future.
Sure.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Hatley, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that? Or I assume that you would be open to, if someone wanted to donate some money, that you would be open to that too. But just shout out your contact information for anybody here that maybe wants to find out more about GEI and how they can be involved in some way.
Yeah, so by email you can just send it to info@growing growingei.org, or just to our you can just, we have online giving at our website at www.growingei.org, growingei.org.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, Hatley, thank you so much for all you're doing. And, what's so beautiful about this is you're making a tremendous impact in the culture and area where you are. But I have a sense that impact is going to ripple out a lot as this model gets shared with other entrepreneurial-hearted missions folks. So thank you so much for all you're doing, and we wish you all the best on your sabbatical and as you plan for next steps.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Hatley, and Godspeed, and best to Christy too.
Awesome. Paul, what an inspiration. And I just absolutely love the entrepreneurial spirit in all of this, and looking at just the spirit of freedom that's being able to come to the people that are engaged in this. And I love it. I love the success story. I love that now it's not just, the employees, the whole thing's being run by people who've come through the program, and it's ready to scale. What an incredible success story.
Yeah. Daryl, I think this entrepreneurial spirit, people who love Jesus, who want to be free to, be in their own businesses or branch out. I think this is not the wave of the future. It's here right now. And we see a number of our missions getting a hold of this concept of kind of the old tent maker thing, go into an area, start a business, or, be involved in the job or something like that. But then, taking the gospel with you where you go. And it's just exciting to see. And, it's something as simple as cleaning houses. I mean, grew into, what did he say, 600 and some women in there. Incredible. Yes. So,
well, they have the tent makers, and now we have the tent cleaners. So all of this is going really, really well together.
When he said could grow in America, I said, I'd probably be the first customer. We need some help over here.
That's right. Hey, thank you to everybody who's joined us here live tonight on Kingdom Missions Fund Live. If you're watching later, we're glad you're here as well. If you'd like to get engaged, we have two ways you can get engaged. If you're with a mission right now at the end of the year is when we are looking for entrepreneurial, innovative projects. Go to Kingdom Missions, go to kingdomfund.com, and you can learn about submitting a grant application if you have an innovative kingdom project that's smart, sustainable, and scalable. And every year we get a lot of applications. We're not able to fund all of them. I wish we could fund all of them. What would it take to fund all of them? It takes you. It takes you and me and everybody chipping in. When we all do a little bit, big things happen. So whether you're an individual who'd like to join our 50-50 club in giving monthly, or whether you're an entrepreneur yourself and business owner and you'd like to pay it forward and write a check to the Kingdom Missions Fund, we'll group all of that together. We'll make a tremendous impact. And Paul, it's going to be so fun in the new year when we get to celebrate the grants that are going out to advance the kingdom. What an honor.
Yeah. And Daryl, it looks like the Kingdom Mission Fund, we're going to have, in spite of the COVID and everything else, I think we're going to have our best year yet. More grants to more mission partners. It's going to be an exciting year. So as long as, I say by the end of this month, by the way, if you're a mission partner, November 30th now is the deadline. And keep us in mind on Giving Tuesday too, as far as, this month too. If
absolutely
you have anybody else to give to, hey, Kingdom Mission Fund, we stand ready to receive your donation. And it all goes in to help our very worthy mission partners.
Incredible. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of our missions partners watching. Thank you to all our friends and donors. And we'll see you again next month with an incredible story on Kingdom Missions Fund Live. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining us today for Kingdom Missions Fund Live. We hope you have been inspired by the passionate people and innovative ideas we've shared today. None of this is possible without generous donations from people like you. To learn more about becoming a supporter of the Kingdom Missions Fund, visit www.kingdomfund.com. Together, we are making a difference.